Nobody in Canberra will ever say the words, "We're taking your retirement money." They don't have to, because the system is designed so they never need to ask. It happens automatically through rules, thresholds and formulas that most Australians don't even know exist. Today, I'm going to show you 5 ways the government is quietly taking your retirement money in 2026, and most of them are perfectly legal.
Now, I'm not talking about some conspiracy theory. I'm talking about published rules sitting right there on the ATO and Services Australia websites that most people never read until it's too late. Some of these will cost you a few thousand. One of them, number 3 on this list, could cost you tens of thousands over the course of your retirement. And number 5 is the sneakiest of all, because you'll never even see it on a statement. Let's get into it.
Number 1. The Age Pension Assets Test. Now, on the surface, this sounds fair. The more assets you have, the less pension you get. Makes sense. But here's what they don't tell you. The taper rate, the rate at which your pension reduces, is brutal. For every $1,000 in assets above the lower threshold, you lose $3 per fortnight in pension. That's $78 a year per $1,000.
So let's say you're a single homeowner in 2026 with $400,000 in assessable assets. You'd get roughly $18,000 a year in part pension. But if your assets are $500,000, you're down to around $11,000. That extra $100,000 in assets just cost you $7,000 a year in pension. That's a 7% annual penalty on that money, worse than most super fund returns. And if you hit around $674,000, your pension goes to zero. You lose the pensioner concession card. You lose the cheaper prescriptions, the energy supplement, the telephone allowance. The system doesn't just reduce your pension, it punishes you for saving.
Number 2. Deeming rates. And this one makes my blood boil. Here's how it works. When Centrelink assesses your financial assets for the pension, they don't look at what your investments actually earn. They assume a rate of return. That's the deeming rate, and they assess your income based on that assumption. As of 2026, the deeming rates are 0.25% on the first $62,600 of financial assets and 2.25% on everything above that. Sounds low, right? Here's the problem. If your super fund had a bad year, say it returned 1% or even went negative, Centrelink still deems you as earning 2.25%. You're being taxed on income you never received. And it gets worse. The government froze deeming rates during COVID when interest rates were near zero. Now rates have gone up and there's been talk of unfreezing them. If deeming rates go up to, say, 3.5%, which is entirely possible, your pension could drop by thousands, even if your investments haven't changed at all. You have no control over this number. The minister sets it, you just wear it.
Number 3, and this is the big one, Division 296. From the 1st of July 2026, if your total super balance is above $3 million, the tax on your investment earnings jumps from 15% to 30% on the portion above $3 million. And if you're above $10 million, which is a tiny number of people, but still, it goes to 40%. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have $3 million, this doesn't affect me. And right now, you'd be correct. But here's the game. The $3 million threshold is not indexed to inflation. It's fixed, it doesn't move. That means every single year, inflation pushes more Australians above that line. In 10 years, $3 million will be worth what $2 million is today. In 20 years, it could capture people with what we'd currently consider a normal retirement balance. This is the same trick they used with income tax brackets for decades. They set a threshold, they don't index it, and they let inflation do the work. Quietly, automatically, without ever having to announce a tax increase.
The $3 million line today is the $1 million line of 2045, and by then it'll be too late to restructure.
Now, quick pause here. I spend a lot of hours digging through ATO rulings, Centrelink thresholds and budget papers to put these videos together. If this channel is helping you see the traps before you fall into them, you can support the work by joining as a channel member. It's a small monthly contribution and it genuinely helps me keep making these videos without sponsors or ads telling me what to say. There's a join button below the video. No pressure, but if you want to back independent Aussie finance education, that's how you do it. Right, back to the list.
Number 4, the Medicare levy, and specifically how it catches retirees who think they're done paying tax. Most Australians know about the 2% Medicare levy on taxable income, but here's what catches retirees off guard. If you're drawing income from a taxable super fund, say you're between 55 and 60, or you have an untaxed scheme like some government pensions, that income is taxable, and the Medicare levy applies on top.
But even if you're over 60 and your super pension is tax-free, if you're earning any other taxable income, a part-time job, rental income, dividends outside super, the Medicare levy still applies to that income. And here's the part nobody warns you about: the Medicare levy surcharge. If you earn above $93,000 as a single and you don't have private hospital cover, you cop an extra 1% to 1.5% surcharge. That's on top of the 2%.
So, a retiree earning $100,000 from a mix of super and rental income without private health insurance could be paying 3.5% in Medicare levy and surcharge alone. On $100,000, that's $3,500 a year, gone. And most people don't see it coming until their tax return. And number 5. This is the sneakiest one of all because it never shows up on any statement, any bill or any government letter. The age pension is indexed. It goes up with inflation, roughly. But your super drawdown is not. The income you pull from your super stays flat unless you manually increase it. And the purchasing power of every dollar in your account is quietly shrinking every single day.
But here's the real trick. Most government thresholds, the assets test limits, the income test limits, the Medicare surcharge thresholds are either frozen, indexed slowly, or indexed to a different measure than actual cost of living increases. So while your expenses go up with real inflation, groceries, energy, insurance, the government thresholds creep up slower or not at all, which means every year more of your money falls on the wrong side of a line that was drawn 5 or 10 years ago. You didn't earn more, you didn't change anything, but the system decided you're now too wealthy for that benefit you got last year. It's a silent tax increase that no politician ever has to vote for. So, what do you actually do about this? Look, I'm not a financial advisor and everyone's situation is different, but here's what the numbers tell me. First, know your thresholds. The assets test limits, the deeming rate brackets, the Medicare surcharge cutoffs. If you don't know where the lines are, you can't plan around them.
Second, structure matters more than balance. I showed this in my last video. Someone with $1 million in super, structured properly, can end up with more retirement income than someone who just draws it down in a straight line. If you missed that one, I'll link it at the end. Third, get advice before you retire, not after. A 1-hour session with a financial advisor who understands Centrelink can save you more than you'd ever pay in fees. The mistakes are almost always made in the first 2 years of retirement because that's when the structure is set.
And fourth, don't assume the rules will stay the same. Division 296 wasn't even a concept 5 years ago. Deeming rates can move with a ministerial decision. The system changes, and it usually changes in the government's favour, not yours. 5 ways: assets test taper, deeming rates, Division 296, Medicare levy, inflation erosion. None of them show up as a line item on your statement that says government took this. But add them up over a 25-year retirement and you could be losing $100,000 to $200,000 quietly, legally, and without ever being told.
The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. The question is whether it's working for you or against you. If you want to see how to actually structure your money around these traps, watch this video next. I broke down what $1 million in super actually gets you in retirement, including the pension pivot strategy that changes the math completely. And if $1 million feels out of reach, this one shows you how $500,000 can still get you there. I'll see you in the next one.